You may now kiss your bride.
You may remember Married at First Sight alum Luke Cuccurullo from his stint on the popular Lifetime series. We recently sat down with the season 8 star to dish about his time on the show and to share an update on his life today.
And then you just sit there and you just
I don't know what
say
to
anything.
say.
Well, what are you thinking?
So what's been going on with you, Luke? I was rewatching your season.
That's what piqued your interest?
I was rewatching your season last night.
Why?
Yeah, because I'm talking to you today. So I had to get a refresher. And now I'm just like, I'm so mad at Luke.
Wait, really? Why? What season was I?
You were season 8, Luke.
8?
You were season 8, yeah. You know, they're at season 17.
I told you they were close to 20, right?
Yeah, no. I've been watching every single season. Why did you go on the show? Like, how did you join the show, first of all?
Oh man, you want to talk about that now?
So they just put up like flyers at our gym, basically.
And you decided, I want to marry a stranger.
Well, they sell you on that they'll find the perfect match for you and that it's all science and that they have your back and, realistically going into it, I thought that they, a little dumb on my part to think reality TV had your best interest in mind. But, you think, oh, they'll find someone that you're compatible with, that you'll get along with. And I find that I like a lot of people, I feel like I get along with everyone. And I figured worst case scenario, we would just be friends with a funny story and it just, all get along like that. But that's not how reality television goes at all. And then, so the process is, I think like 6 months. I think I talked to them in February or March or something like that. And they told me from the beginning, they were like, oh, you're a perfect fit. You'll definitely get it. And I'm like, sure, whatever. And it's just like months go by. Maybe you have a phone call or a Zoom meeting every month or so. And then once it kicks into gear, it just is like full blast into, meet the experts. They're gonna meet your family. You can get married in a week. You got to get everything situated. And it just goes from like 0 to 100 real quick.
And you hear the news you're going to be on the show. What are you thinking now? Are you panicking at this point?
Gonna be on the show again because they told me I was gonna be on the show for like months. It wasn't a super shock. Like I was like, oh, okay, they were telling the truth. The big thing was just telling my parents.
And how did they react?
My dad took it kind of well, actually. I just explained it to him and he was like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, he's chill. My mom was much more upset for obvious reasons. I feel the worst for her, basically.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's like people know, people grow up in a small town and it's like people say stuff to her and I felt worse for her having to deal with stuff basically than anyone else.
So you're cast on the show. What are you thinking? What do you think the process is going to be like? And what was it actually like?
How the whole process would go?
Yeah.
I figured you would like talk to the experts. They would get an idea of who you are, like what you were interested in, and then they would match you with someone.
And that's not what happened?
I would say it was basically the polar opposite of what I was, looking for. But
what did you tell them that you wanted?
They were like, so what are your deal breakers? And I had said smoking was a big one for me. And then, being family oriented and basically not addicted to hard drugs, it's nothing crazy.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what else are deal breakers, but and active. That was pretty it. I feel like I maybe set the bar too low, like I was like, this is not in a rude way, but just like I didn't give them enough to work with, I guess.
Did you give them an idea of physically what you were looking for?
I honestly thought, based on kind of the information I gave them, I thought they would give me like a nice Italian girl with family values that was athletic. That basically it, like probably played soccer or something like that. Like that in my mind, that's what I thought was going to happen.
All right. So you see Kate walk down the aisle.
Mhm.
And what are you thinking upon meeting her? By the way, Kate is gorgeous.
Absolutely,
She's
absolutely gorgeous.
beautiful. She's adorable.
She has beautiful eyes.
Absolutely beautiful. But what are you like? Are you surprised? Pleasantly surprised? What are you thinking when she comes down the aisle?
So what had happened was I used to own and operate a speed dating business.
Okay.
I had an event maybe a week and a half before the wedding, like on Tuesday or Wednesday night or something. Kate had come with one of her friends to the speed dating event. And then I had seen her friend in the back of the room, like on her side of the bridal party. And they make you stand there 2 hours maybe to build tension and get like all the, shots. So I'm like walking around. I was like, all right, I'll introduce myself to everyone on her side of the family. So I, go talk to everybody, see your friend Megan. And I was like, oh, I know who this is going to be. So I already knew who it was going to be before she walked down the aisle. And I had already met her. So it wasn't a surprise at all. Kind of when she was coming down the aisle. We'd already met. I had already seen her. It wasn't really a surprise.
But I'm a little confused. How are you guys at a speed dating event 2 weeks before you're about to tie the knot?
Well, I owned and operated the speed dating event.
Right, but why was she there?
Because she was supporting a friend.
Okay.
We'll
that look tells me you don't believe that.
No, honestly, she was very disengaged in the speed dating event.
Okay.
They don't tell you until like a week out. So I don't know if she knew. She knew she was in the application process, but I don't think they had told us yet. I think they told us like that Friday, Saturday, and then like by the next weekend you're getting married.
Wow.
So it was like 2 days before we found out, something like that.
All right, so you're married. Well, by the way, I'm trying to remember if you kissed on the wedding day.
Yeah, they clank the glasses like 100 times till you do, basically.
Okay, and you kissed.
Yeah, like you do at the altar, and then they just like, the
All
producers
right, so
are like, clank the glasses. And,
Let's clank the glasses, I guess.
Yeah, I remember one of my groomsmen was drunk, and he's like, cheers! And I was like, thanks, buddy.
All right, we're going into the honeymoon, and I feel like in my mind, this is where it started going downhill.
Yeah, probably before
right?
that.
Probably before, yeah, probably before. But I just remember her crying on the honeymoon.
Of course.
Because of something you said to her.
Didn't she cry the entire show?
Didn't you make her cry the entire show?
Probably.
Right. So that is the question we're asking. Luke, speaking of this, we're playing a game now, Luke. It's called Do You Regret It?
Do I regret what? Going on the show?
Do You Regret It is the name of the game. And I'm going to ask you some things that happened on the show, and you're going to let me know if you regret it. All right.
I will give you honest answers on everything.
All right. Do you regret it? Telling Kate that you were not attracted to her.
No, I don't regret that. Wait, are you supposed to tell someone?
You were
Would you
not.
rather me lie?
Yes.
Why?
You don't lie. You just don't say. How do you say to somebody, I'm not attracted to you? What am I supposed to do about that, Luke?
Are we?
What am I
Do we
supposed
know?
to do
We
with
don't.
that
We don't know
information?
each other prior. Okay, if you were married to me and we had just met 2 days ago, would you want me to lie to you?
I would want you to not tell me that I'm hideous and you're
I didn't
not
say
attracted
you were
to me.
hideous. I'm just saying I wasn't attracted to you.
I don't need to know. Do not tell me that on my honeymoon, sir. Okay?
Get out of here.
I would just not say anything.
So when they ask you 100 times the same question over and over,
Okay. They're
what am I
trying to
supposed to
get
do?
that out of you.
Of course they're trying to get it out of you. So what am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say it's not always about physical appearance.
Yeah, I said that
you're
answer
gonna
like
get to
10
know
times.
her first.
Of course I said that answer.
Oh, we didn't get none of that. We just got
Of course
you
you
were
don't
not
get
attracted
none
to her.
of that. I said a lot of getting to know her better. I will, I have hope that I can grow to be attracted to her. I said plenty of stuff like that.
Okay, so you don't regret that.
No, of
Next
I don't think
question.
relationship should be built on lies. Get out of here.
So you don't regret it. We're moving on. Do you regret saying that you felt repulsed? Do you remember saying that?
So again, that I will always say gotten a bit taken out of context. Obviously, there's no, clip of me saying it. It's her recollection of what she was saying.
Okay.
I had said I was disgusted in myself.
Okay.
Is what had happened, and that I did regret. And then in that scene, she says kiss, right? And by kiss, it meant have sex with her, which I know doesn't make it better or worse. But I was just like disappointed. It does, but not on television. I don't know. I was trying to be like, keep some things personal. I felt like not everyone's business has to be out there. I know my mother's gonna watch the show.
Right.
I had asked her, not to say anything, because one of the other couples, the one that's still together, so he texts us after the first episode, and it's after the first episode, they have these salacious questions, and they're like, "Are you good at sex?" And he's, I obviously don't answer with a sound bite, because I don't want to give him a sound bite. And Keith is like, "I'm the master of doggy style," or something along those lines, right? And then he texts the group chat, and he's like, "Sit next to my father-in-law. We just watched that clip together." And it's like, I think I was a little too conscious that it was going to be shown.
Right.
So I tried to tamp everything down, which was not effective.
It didn't go well in your favor. It made it appear as if you were trying to cover, you were doing something wrong and trying to save face. Yeah. Yeah, because, it 100%. Later came out that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know it came out, and I, wasn't happy about it, but you can't win them all. So basically I was disappointed that, it had happened. You film 12 hours a day on the honeymoon. You're calls at 7 a.m. You don't sleep, you're up. I think it was maybe second night, something like that. She had been a little intoxicated, a little pressuring for it, right? And I honestly just wanted to go to sleep, and I was like, all right, fine, you know what I mean, whatever. And then I did it, and then I was just disappointed in myself, because I don't want that to be,
especially because you had said you were not attracted to her. So
yeah. So I was
no good.
I was just more disappointed in myself, and kind of disgusted by my own actions of right.
Okay. Sure. Another thing I wanted to ask if you regret. So your 1 month anniversary, you went out with your friends, I suppose. Is that what happened? You hung out with your friends, you weren't there with her, and you made her cry because she was expecting,
That one was so stupid.
Today is our 1 month wedding anniversary.
It was we had different call times. So I think her call time was 11 and mine was 1 or something.
Oh.
So I showed up at 1, and then they were like, "Where were you?" And I was like, I didn't even know this was the thing.
I woke up today just hoping there's a little sliver that it's our anniversary, maybe we can do something nice today.
Wait, but aren't you guys living together?
Yes.
Okay, so I already know from some of the other cast members that you really just show up at that house at the particular time.
I mean, I still have my apartment and stuff.
Right.
A little bit.
So I guess you guys weren't there and just showed up.
Yeah, I mean, the nights we filmed late, I definitely stayed over. I stayed over probably more than half the time, honestly. If I knew we could have got away with more, I would have not stayed over more. But I talked to the next season, and they never were together, and I was like, this was an option.
I don't understand what the point of this is then, though. Living together, getting to know each other. Then what are we doing?
You're watching a reality television show
about people who were married and fall in love at first sight.
Oh, you're very naive, and it's.
I'm not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I would say if you've interviewed anybody,
the guys have been talking. Yes.
Honestly, if I wasn't on a show, I wouldn't have known. Kind of the extent of the process to make a show. And I would have blissfully been like, oh yeah, of course, that's exactly what happens, or that's
some of the things that I'm hearing I understand now, when I'm looking back at the shows. And number one, people are not exactly seeing these ads and thinking, I want to get married because blah, 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 blah. Let me sign up. It's like people are scouting them. They're single guys. They're like, all right, cool. Why not? And then it's not and then you're saying, and then you find out on the show last week he was with this girl, and I'm like, why would he be with a girl last week if he wants to? And then you're like, okay, now we hated this dude all season for nothing.
Who?
No, just the guys in general. When we find out information, when you're finding out this information now, when we're watching it, we don't know this, so we're judging like.
I would say people don't realize like you're a real person with emotions and like, feelings, and I would say being filmed 40 hours a week is very stressful, and especially in a situation you don't want to be in where you're trapped, and it's like you just feel trapped and probably the most depressed you've ever been in your life. Like you are just not. I mean, like personally, I was just not
miserable.
Happy. Absolutely miserable. It would be, you know, like my call time would be whatever, and I would just be like sitting at my other place, pretending I was still at the gym and being like, or like pretending I still had something to do, just like dreading going over there. And you're just like sitting there, just like. And it's hard too. So I had a job during the show. So a lot of the time, like she didn't have a job. So they filmed her way more than they filmed me.
Okay.
And then it was like, I was still working, 50 hours a week with my job, running a speed dating business. And I was still playing soccer like an idiot. So I had like a lot on my plate.
Going on, right.
And then we're just like filming all the time. So it feels like you don't really have any time to breathe. I would say.
Is it that she quit her job for the show?
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Know nothing about your wife.
No, I mean, I don't know what the real story is or what they.
Oh, but the story's that because.
So, like, at the reunion, they were like, Kate got a new job and a new boyfriend. And I was like, cool. And then afterwards, there was like, no boyfriend, no job. And I was like,
wait, what?
Was this real? Was this fabricated? I don't know. I don't care.
I cannot. Maybe we need to not call this a reality show and just call it like a movie.
It is. What do they always tell you? They're just there to observe. It's a docu-series.
It's not a docu-series.
I was like, a docu-series where we sit down and have to answer the same questions 100 times?
It's absolutely not a docu-series. It's absolutely not. Do you regret going on the show?
No, I don't regret going on the show.
Okay. Is there anything you did on the show that you regret though? When you're watching, I don't know if you watched it, but is there anything that you're like, I shouldn't have done that?
This is literally the thing that I need to understand.
Dude, think about your most worst times. Would you want to watch them over again?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. I didn't watch the show. That was a problem. I had never watched the show
before.
We watched one episode they made us watch just to see what the like interview process was to get started. So I watched one season's opening episode. Okay. So you know about like talking to the experts and kind of the narrowing down process. I don't know if it would have been better or worse, but I think what I would have done, which you're probably going to hate, was like kind of rip that Band-Aid off sooner and just be more upfront with not being interested.
Oh my God.
I know you're not going to love the answer.
I cannot.
I feel like I strung her along too much then if I don't do that. So it's like, I feel like getting it over in the beginning right away and just kind of keeping space. I don't know, but a way to not hurt her feelings or minimize that.
Right. But question though, do you not believe that there's anything the experts could have done for anything to grow between you guys, or was it just that you're on a show and you just want this to be over?
Oh yeah, I wanted it to be over.
What has the reaction been like?
What has the reaction been like?
Yes.
So I would say it's probably 80% of people hate you. Yes. There is strong homophobic undertones. Apparently she told everyone I was gay.
Oh dear.
In one episode. Did you get that far yet?
I didn't see that one, nor do I remember it.
There's again racist undertones based on like who I had dated previously. So yeah, homophobic, racist, and then people just hating you. It's kind of adorable though. Some of the old ladies, like, so they'll be like very, very. I know I've already cursed, but very like crass, like fuck you, you homo, go kill yourself. No one loves you, like that kind of messaging. And then like the very nice, like 60-year-old ladies that are like, you're a jerk, like, you know what I mean? And then the Delta, like they're cute.
That softened the blow compared to what you just read.
They'll be like, you're a real jerk. Like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Do you think that's the nicest thing you heard that day? Imagine.
No. And then there's like another, I would say 20% that are like on your side.
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, that's crazy. And you'd be like, hey, relax. You don't know like what's going on.
Yeah.
And then there's like, people that just kind of feel bad for you. And they're like, dude, you look depressed. I was like, oh, I was.
I don't mean to laugh. It's absolutely not funny, but I'm just saying, yeah.
Laughter's the best.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So very interesting kind of delta on responses. It's true that the loudest majority is the angriest or the meanest, but what I had started to do, which really helped me, because it's hard when you feel like the whole world hates you. I mean, it's not the whole world, but in your bubble, every week people are just cursing you out. Like people called my work and told them to fire me. And people were savages. Like
they're vicious.
People were trying to destroy the speed dating business. People would try to like just shit on anything you do. So what I started doing was just calling people. I would just call them and have a conversation with them. And it's like the second
call them where?
On Instagram, you can just press a call button. If they message you, you can call them.
I bet that went well, because normally when they write stuff, second
they pick up, their tone changes.
Yeah.
So
it's a human being. Yeah.
So it's like the disconnect between you being a character and you being a human is big. So it's very interesting. That helped me instead of kind of like running away from it, just like running directly into it. That helped a lot. And then it's like a bunch of old ladies telling you you're gay, and then they talk to you and they're like, ah, really nice. And I'm like, yeah, man.
Human, who knew?
Next time you see somebody on your picture box, you don't like
on your picture box.
But like they're all 60.
Yeah.
70.
Oh my god. All right. So what have you been up to since then? Since we saw you last?
Since I saw me last.
4 years
so
ago.
like post show, bit of a mental break. I quit my job, and then I kind of just drove around in the car around America for a while, which was very nice. Just kind of exploring the country. Took some time off. Then we had a pandemic.
Yes, I've not forgotten that.
Then I did freelance photography for a couple years.
Okay.
And now I am in alcohol sales.
You're in alcohol sales? Okay. Cool. And are you dating? Are you married?
That information? Get out of here.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm doing fine.
You're doing fine. I feel like
fine.
that means you're dating several people. That's
No, God no. Several.
And you're happy, and
Of course.
yes.
It's a lot easier to like the person when you get to pick who they are.
I can attest to that. Yes, it is.
You've been in an arranged relationship?
Absolutely not. I've lived vicariously through the show, and I'm like, absolutely not.
That is always the part that surprises me, though. It's like, people are like, oh, it's been your 1 week anniversary of your marriage. And you're like, I've known this person for 6 days. Like, what do I owe them? Or like, I have not developed any kind of feelings or relationships for them.
It's a stranger still.
Yes, like you don't know them. You don't know them at all.
I think it's just the setup on our end.
Oh, of course.
What we're being told and what we're being fed versus, but it was nice chatting with you, Luke.
Wait, you have no more hard-hitting questions?
No, I've given you all my hard-hitting questions. Didn't you feel them? The psh, psh, psh.